Hey guys, what's going on? Your old buddy Tim back in the Revolved Realty studio. Today we are kicking off a video series on the top 20 things, 21, 22 things that you need to keep in mind when you are fixing up a house, either to flip or to keep. And we're going to get kicked off with the first two right after this. Hey guys, hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we are kicking off a video series on the 20 or so tips, things that you should keep in mind when you are thinking about fixing up a house. A house? If you're thinking about fixing up a house, either to flip or to keep, there is a lot to think about when you are looking at buying a fixer-upper, and I just want to scratch the surface with these 20 things. The very first thing you have to keep in mind is this. You have to be realistic about the scope of the project, and by that I simply mean how much work needs to be done on the project. It could be simply cosmetic, but it could be something much more. It could be you would have to take down walls, reconfigure things like reconfiguring the kitchen. It's not as easy as the folks on TV make it look. You see those 30-minute shows, the first-time flippers and fixer flip or flipper flop or flipper flap or whatever. They make it look really easy. And, then at the end, they've spent a little bit of money. They've turn around and sell it for lots more. That's the exception to the rule, folks. So when you are looking at your first house, whether you're thinking about fixing it up for yourself to live in or to flip, think about the scope of the project. You need to be thinking about things, not only about how much work does it need? Is it cosmetic? Is it structural? Does the roof need replacing? Is the electrical old? Is the plumbing bad? You also need to think about things like your very own scope of work, meaning how much work can you do to save money? Are you going to have to hire everything out? Are you going to project manage? Is this a simple, as we say, lipstick on a pig, where you paint the walls, put down a little flooring and sell it? Or is there a lot more to it? So tip number one is know the scope of your project. Tip number two goes right along with that, and that is set a budget. It's no news flash that updating a house can cost a lot of money. Again, depending on the scope and what you're going to do to it. So you need to think about realistically what your budget is. How much on the high side, given what you know, are you willing to put into this house? Now, given what you know is one of those phrases that really doesn't have a lot of meaning, because when you start redoing a house, tearing out walls, tearing out ceilings, going under the floor, you really, there are a lot of unknowns. Things can happen that you did not account for that blow your budget right out of the water. Let's say that you have a, a $20,000 budget, but then you realize that you have to replace the roof. Well, there's 12 grand. Or you have to redo all the electrical. There's another 5 or 6. Or you've got mold under the house. Well, geez, there's another 7 or 8. So it's really easy to blow your budget. We talk about this a lot on this show. When you are doing a flip or a remodel, you make your money on the front side, meaning the cheaper you get the house and the less you can spend on repairs, the more profit you're going to make. So that is tip number two, set a budget. Tip number one, be realistic about the scope of the project. Always be honest with yourself regarding the amount of work that's going to be needed. Then also set a budget, keep up with it. Try not to overrun that budget. Remember, if you've got a pot of money that's only got 20 grand in it, if you go 21 grand, you are over budget. And when you go over budget, your profit starts to drop. And don't think you can just raise the price of the house and make up for what you're spending down here, because it's not the way it works. Okay. Hey, hopefully that was helpful. I want to mention our sponsors. First sponsor of the program, the mortgage firm, Stephen Allen and his team at the mortgage firm will go above and beyond to get you the best home mortgage possible. And if you mentioned to Stephen that you heard about it on the program, he is going to throw in a $450 appraisal absolutely free. And once you get the house funded, you got to have a closing attorney. That's why we recommend Stan McDonald over at Jacob Title. They are the hometown closers. They will get everything done, get you wrapped up, get you closed quickly, efficiently, and at the best price. And if you mentioned to Stan, you heard about it on this program, he is going to knock $100 off the closing costs. So, okay, there you go. Those are our first 2 tips in the series of 20 or so. On the next video, we're going to talk about your timeline, your calendar, and then we're going to talk about being flexible. Because I got to tell you, folks, nothing ever goes as planned when you're flipping a house. All right. Hey, if I can do anything for you when it comes to real estate, I'm your guy, 679-0704 or Tim at Revolved. You can also find me online or on Facebook. And yeah, there you go. I can actually help you find a flip and work through all these things. How about that? All right. I'll see you later. Get out of here. Take care.